Hi guys, it's Chris at Cork and Crown, back in my cider shed with some more cider to try. 2 ciders to try, in fact. 2, a brace of ciders from the same producer. I was selling cider today at Shortlands Market, South East London. And there's a stand next to me, and all they sold was Kent produce, all sorts of things. But they had some cider, and I spotted the cider, and I thought, ooh, haven't had that. I'll buy a couple of cans, come home, try it. So that's what I'm going to do. I've had stuff from these guys before. Well, they're sort of high-end range. This is their sort of more standard range, I guess you'd call it. Kentish Pip. It's Kentish Pip cider in a can. We've had a few cans lately. We've had, what have we had? Giggle Juice from Duck Chicken. We've had Dunkertons in a can. I think we've had some more as well, but now we've got 2 more cans. Loads of cans. We love cans. Cans are great. The Mount family, I think Mark Mount is the guy and his wife Rosie, I believe, started making cider. So we've been making cider for about 10 years, something like that. But they've had the farm for about 100 years. I think the great-grandfather was called Herbert Mount, I think. Or great-great-grandfather. Not sure. But anyway, been there for yonks, growing all sorts of things. They also have wines. They do grapes as well. Using a lot of Kentish apples, which is a tradition in that part of the world. But they've also planted some sort of cider apples as well. I don't know what sort. I'm not sure if there's any in these. We'll have a look in a sec. They do one called Craftsman, I think it's called, which certainly has some of the traditional cider apples in, which I'd love to try. I didn't get any of that, but I'd love to try that as well. But anyway, on with this. What we got? First one, let's try. I think Highdiver is the lightest one. Refreshing, crisp, sparkling cider. Any info? Yes, there is info. It's 4.8%. So once you made with fresh apples, never from concentrate. They do use wine yeast, and they use specific yeasts for particular varietals, I believe. And I think they ferment varietals individually and then blend. It says Highdiver plunges you into a world of fine bubbles with bobbing apples. A luxurious blend with Cox and Bramley apples, medium dry, marrying fresh acidity with a bright, aromatic fruit character. It's a perfect partner to oysters and seafood, or simply to enjoy on its own. Take a dive and see what you find. So yeah, so Bramley and Bramley and Cox. It's 2 very well known dessert apples. Let's read this one before we open them. Get all that out of the way. This one is 5.5%, so a bit stronger. Crisp and complex, medium dry cider. Skylark is a next generation sparkling cider, popping with big notes of fresh Kentish dessert apples, followed by a flourish of complex cider tannins. So they've got some cider apples in this, obvs. So I expect this to be slightly darker colour. Might not be, but slow fermentation of this special blend of dessert and cider varieties creates a deeply refreshing medium dry cider for people who expect the beyond. So based on my palate, I'm probably going to like this one more because I do like the sort of tannic, sort of slightly more tannic apples. But who knows? Let's try and find out. So apples, water, sugar, malic citric acid, yeast, sulfites. No problem with that. So yeah, I assume watering it back to 5.5. It's higher end, but normally if you let sort of apples fermented dry, you'll get to about 6, but it depends on the sugar content of the apples. So let's start with this one, the Highdiver, yeah. So don't need this, don't need you. Right, let's pour it out and have a look. So, long-term viewers of this show, it's not a show, it's me in the shed, whatever you call this thing. This thing, may remember, quite a while ago, a year or so ago, I had a resident wasp in the shed, building a nest above me. I believe I named the wasp Raymond. Could be wrong, but I think it was Raymond. Well, I have a new wasp building a new nest above my head. Just exited the shed, but you may well hear the wasp return. It turns out that only queen wasps build nests. So Raymond was in fact a lady. Nothing wrong with that. Lady called Raymond. That's absolutely fine. But I think this one I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Beatrice. There you go. So Beatrice the wasp is currently building another wasp's nest above my head. And they're beautiful little structures. They're amazing. Obviously I can't let them finish the nests because I'll have loads of wasps in my shed. But for the time being, I'm going to let them get on with it because the structures they built are quite beautiful. I might even put a picture on the screen of said wasp, Beatrice. So anyway, do you want to try some cider, Chris? That's why we came. None of this wasp talk. Yes, sorry guys. Chill out. Right, so anyway, colour. So yes, light colour is what we expect. You know, low tannin, Cox and Bramley. So expect quite a lot of sort of like malic fresh acidity in this. So yeah, something very crisp, bright, sort of palate cleansing. But on the nose, hints of malic acid. But actually, it's quite floral on the nose, I want to say. Floral. And something else in there as well. What is that? It's a hint of something vegetal. Not a bad way, but there's a hint of like green vegetal sort of nature to it as well, I think. Yeah, don't know what. Not peas, not green beans. I don't know, something in that sugar snap peas or whatever they're called. Something like that. There's a greenness about it, but not in a bad way. It's interesting. All right, let's try it. Medium dry. Yeah, okay. I think it's on the dry. You could almost say it's a medium. It depends on your palate, obviously. You know, some people will find it sweeter than somebody else, so it depends on your palate. This, I think, medium dry. I'll give them that, because it has got some sweetness. It has, but it's not too much, and it has got a decent hit of acidity, which offsets that sweetness, and that's good. Me likes that. Quite fizzy, slightly fizzier than I'd like, but it's not too much. The bubbles are actually quite moussey. It's all right. Forced carbonated at canning. Well, it will be. Yeah, I mean, not going to be can conditioning it. Yeah, it's like floral, vegetal, malic sort of combo on the nose. It's all right. It's all right. I do like that green malic element to it, which offsets that that sweetness, which isn't overpowering, but it's there. And actually, it's a palate cleanser. That it really is. It's like an aperitif or something, I would suggest. Solid. Nose is. I keep going back to the nose. There is something sort of vegetal about it. There is like a green veg. Is it peas? Fresh peas or something? I'm not sure. Anyway, forget it. Okay. Hot summer day. Have some Highdiver. Right. I'm going to put it in the same glass. I apologise in advance for that. But there you go. So we expect this to have a little more colour. It may not, and I may look foolish. But I mean, it may look foolish, whatever. But you know what I mean. I may look foolish because of this particular thing. Let's have a look. I was like, yeah, it's a little bit. I don't look quite so foolish as I might have looked. Nice big head on that. Looks almost like a German Helles, German lager or something there. There's the colour. There you go. We do have some colour. These have got some tannins in. I do like that. I do like that. So what's that? It's I mean, straw gold going into amber. I want to say that is. So that's what I'm going to say, because I want to say it. Straw gold going into amber. Let's have a sniff. Ooh, the nose is more delicate. But I feel like there is like just a hint more, just like a slightly deeper. What's there is deeper, more it's like a hint of, I don't know, toffee or caramel, something like that about it. A toffee apple. Yeah, almost demerara, toffee, caramel, something like that. There's a hint of that about it, even though it's a very delicate nose, which is nice. Yeah, caramel. I'm going to say caramel. Caramel. Excuse me, quite fizzy. Let's try it. And there are tannins. There are tannins. A little bit of astringency. Not super bold. It's not like drinking a Tremlett bitter from Ross and Wye or an Ashton bitter from Ross and Wye something. It's delicate, but it's there, and that slightly sort of toffee caramel character, that's there as well. And then you've got the thing we had in the previous one. There's that malic acidity, but almost like it's just edging towards a red apple rather than a green apple. That's more my thing. But I know for a lot of people, but not everyone, they'd rather go for that. They would. But that, it's got a little bit more tannin, a little bit more structure. And we want to try the Craftsman. Is it called? I think it's called Craftsman. No? I put the name of it on the screen. Yeah. So it's got hints of the previous one, but it's just got that slightly deeper, darker, more sort of demerara element to it, caramel element to it. And the astringency is a little bit of, which gives it a bit more structure, so it's more to my taste. But they're both, you know, well-made, clean ciders for sure. Yeah, like that. I like the fact they're using some cider apples as well. I think it's great. I think it's great. I mean, I would say, like, in no condescending way, like eating apples are like eating grapes, and cider apples are like wine grapes. They're a different thing. But, you know, in Kent and so forth, they were growing fruit to be eaten on the mass market. London, you know, people didn't want cider apples. They wanted apples they could eat. So that's that was grown in the Garden of England, you know, Kent. Whereas in the West Country, it's for preserving, you know. So you get the tannin, acidity. You're going to cook them or press them, make them into cider, and that's how you preserve them. That's what you were doing there. Yeah, solid. Good, look forward. I must say I like this one more, but that's because that's my personal preference. There's nothing wrong with the Highdiver whatsoever. Just that's more my kind of thing. More my kind of thing. So yeah, cool. I'm going to try and get hold of the other one that they do and try that as well. But until then, thank you for joining me in my shed to try Kentish Pip Skylark and Kentish Pip Highdiver. And Beatrice didn't make an appearance, but I'm sure she will at some point very, very soon. Okay, guys, yeah, thank you for joining me in my shed. I hope you join me again. But until that time, cheers.